officials from the department and the law advisors will then see that the amendment list is incorporated into the bill. And then on Tuesday, we can then adopt the report on the bill. Having said that, let me just confirm whether we form a quorum. Yes, Hadere, you are here. Hornevat, Brink, Keza, Tutuli, Mkalipi, Hussein, and those are the members that I think they are here. Also to welcome the Minister, Deputy Minister Tau, Deputy Minister Wapela, the colleague from the State Law Advisor. I'm trying to check if the Parliament law advisors they are here. I can't. Maybe you will be joining the meeting not so long, Advocate Jenkins. And then also to welcome the colleagues from Salga. I see they are here. As interested party, the DG is here of DCOC. Also some DDGs, I can see DDG Naidu is here. Yes, just to welcome them. Basically, this is how we are composed. Honorable Orperman, I can see you've just joined the meeting now. Yes. So that's the issue. Honorable Hadem. Honorable Hadem.
Chairperson.
Can I ask you to just hold the
Our chair from... Come again, Chair?
Can I ask you to hold the fort for me for some few minutes? I have some emergency I must attend to. Then okay. I'm gonna come. Just start with the meeting. I just need to attend to some emergency things here. Then I'm gonna be coming back to you. Please, members, bear with me.
No problem, Chairperson.
Sure.
We are foot soldiers, ever ready. Colleagues, thank you. Apologies. I had technical glitches yesterday, so I'm using my smartphone now. So I will switch off my screen. Hopefully, I'm audible. I think the only item on the agenda is for us to hand over to the state law advisors to take us through the amendments clause by clause. And once they have done that, we'll deliberate as such. I'm not too sure from the three lawyers who will be taking us through. Is it parliamentary advisors? Can I just get an indication?
Chairperson?
Yes.
I think it was agreed that I would go through the proposed amendments, although all of us have agreed to them. So I will go through them, and if there's anything I missed out on, then the parliamentary legal advisor would assist, if that's in order with
I can see
no problem. Just bear in mind that we've received the document very late, so please take your time and ensure that you go through all the important and key aspects for members to be able to digest and feedback accordingly. So we have not had sufficient time to go through the document as it was submitted very late to us. Just bear in mind that we've received the document
Chairperson,
very late,
I have not printed out the IDs. So what I'm going to try and do is I would just want to know if there's anything I missed out on, then and then I'll try to share it with you with assist. See if I can do that. Okay. Chairperson, I have not printed out the quite new the themes. So what I'm going to try and do is I would just want to know if there's anything I missed support or see anything, and then that
So we
I'll try
don't
to
have
share
sufficient
with
time
you
to go
with
through
assist, see if
the
I can do
document
that.
that was submitted very late.
Both still loading.
Okay.
Yes.
Chairperson, I
Still
have
loading.
not
Yes.
printed
There we
out
go.
the
There we go.
quite new version.
Over,
So what I'm
over to
going
you.
to try
Proceed.
and
Take your
do
time.
is I would just want to know if I just want to inform the committee that we incorporated all of the amendments, starting with the amendments that were effective at the change.
My apologies. So
Chairperson,
I
I
think
have
the
not
manner in which we go
printed
through
out
this, there we go,
quite new
correct,
version.
is that
So
we'll
what
take
I'm going
each
to
clause
try and
once
do
we have
is
done reading, we'll get the feedback from members and then we proceed to the
I
next
just want
clause.
to inform the committee that we incorporated
Chair,
all of the
here.
amendments,
Yes.
starting with the amendments
May I
that
just
were
make one
effective
suggestion,
at
Chair,
the
just to help?
change.
And you remember yesterday, Chair, we had
The manner in
those
which
two
we go
additional
through
inputs.
this,
I think what we're getting now
that
is
will
a
take
response
each
to
clause
those inputs
once
of
we have
yesterday.
done reading,
If we can
we'll get
perhaps
the
maybe just
feedback from
dispose of
members
that
and then we
first
proceed to the
and
next
just
clause.
get the in-principle agreement from everyone, then I think it'll be easier for us to
Yes.
go through the clause by clause. Otherwise, what happens is that when we get to that specific clause, we end up getting bogged down. Just a suggestion, Chair, to help
The
you
manner in
because
which we
if
go
we deal with
through
these,
this,
what we're getting now
that will
is
take
I think
each
from my
clause
inputs
once
of
we have
yesterday.
done reading.
So
So
if we can
you're
perhaps
suggesting
maybe
that we
just
get from
dispose of
members
that
those
first
that
and just get the
were
in-principle
outstanding
agreement
before
from
we go
everyone,
through
then I think
for
it'll be
each
easier for
clause,
us to go through
starting
the clause
from
by
number
clause.
one.
Otherwise, what happens is because the document that are being sent now is in response to our deliberations of yesterday, which was suggested to deal with these. And so these amendments are in response to that conversation yesterday. So if we can,
So you're suggesting that
if we can get a consensus on these amendments, then I think when we get to the
before.
clause by clause, it will go very quick.
So what difference will it make if we interact with those that were outstanding when we get to that clause?
Look, I'm in your hands. I'm merely making a proposal. I thought it would be a bit better that way. So you can have the discussions here on these amendments. And then when you get to the clause by clause, it will merely be agreed if we're all in agreement. But it's left up to you. I'm merely putting the proposal. You can deal with it either way, but perhaps this way might be the more easier way to deal with it. But I'm happy to go with your decision.
Okay. I'm democratic. What's the take from other members? Because I was just thinking that as and when we get to the issue that it was outstanding from yesterday, we'll deliberate so that we deal with these issues once and for all.
Are you gentlemen, you are saying the same thing?
Okay, then let's proceed in this fashion. As and when we get to the clause that was outstanding from last night, we'll deliberate at length and we agree, and then we move to the next clause. So now let's allow Yolanda to proceed from the first clause.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to see, is the committee able to see this document that I'm sharing?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
From my side, I can
Yes.
see, despite using the small device, I can see.
Okay. I'll try to make it as clear as possible as I go through. Chair, I'm starting with clause 1, which also happens to be one of the issues that we discussed last night. It related to the definition of political office. And we were tasked to decide how are we going to expand that definition in a very democratic way so that we don't limit it too much or expand it too much. And we've considered the definition. And if you look at the amendment here, it says that we are inserting only in paragraph A of that definition, we are inserting the words or treasurer of the party. We are omitting that. We are inserting treasurer or an elected decision-making position of a political party. So that if we read it now, if we go to line 14 on page 3 of the bill, if you read that specific amendment, it will now read the position, a political office in relation to a political party or structure thereof means the position of chairperson, deputy chairperson, secretary, deputy secretary, treasurer, or an elected decision-making position of a political party, or any position in the party equivalent to a position referred to in paragraph A, irrespective of the title designated to the position. So if you remember correctly, Chairperson, honourable members, we indicated last night that we had a problem with the use of the word executive or the term executive committee, as we didn't want to cause any confusion with the definition of political office bearer, which actually relates to the internal structures of the municipality. So we removed any reference to executive in that definition, and we just expanded on those top 5 positions by referring to positions that involve elected decision-making positions, to cover also those members of the political party that are not necessarily part of the big 5, but who take part in the decision-making process of a political party. So that is the only...
Which page are you in? Which page are you in?
Chair, I'm on page 3 of the bill. And it is the definition of political office, which the only amendment that we are proposing is in line 14. So I'm going to...
Unless I've got the wrong document in front of me. Colleagues, are we all in the same page?
Yeah, Chair.
Yeah.
What is the page again? I got, but
It's
page 3.
Page 3, okay. Line 7.
Yes, so so we only have one amendment there, members, Chairperson. I've highlighted it on my document. So the only part that will now be inserted will be that highlighted part, and it will be inserted in line 14. You will see after the word secretary, we are just inserting treasurer or an elected decision-making position. So instead of where the definition used to make provision only for chairperson, deputy chairperson, secretary, deputy secretary, or treasurer, we are now also proposing that a position of an elected decision-making position be inserted there. Because last night we were having discussions as to how we can expand on those top 5 positions without referring to them as the executive committee or the executive or the national executive.
Okay, and you're satisfied that the clause as it is now will withstand any legal scrutiny, and all the parties that you engage with are in agreement?
Yes, Chairperson, all of us are in agreement that this is the way in which we can expand it in order to clarify it, but in order also for the limitation to be justifiable.
Okay, colleagues,
Chair,
any takers? Yes.
Sorry, Chair. I just want let's just start with clarification. And I'm sorry if Ms. van Aswegen has to repeat herself.
Okay.
But can I just read as
Sorry, colleagues,
yes.
You will bear with me. I'm using a phone, so I wouldn't be in a position to see who has raised the hand. So you'll have to indicate by shouting if you want to have a bite on the matter. But proceed, Honourable Ben.
Thank you, Chair. So let me just check that we're on the same page as to the amended wording of the clause. It would say the position of chairperson, deputy chairperson, secretary, deputy secretary, treasurer, or an elected decision-making position of a political party in any province, region, or other area in which the party operates. you know, is that the wording of the proposed amended clause? And after confirmation, Chair, I just have a suggestion.
Yes, Chairperson, that is the correct reading, except for the word nationally. Sorry that the honourable member left out, which appears after the political party. So it applies
Okay.
nationally also. Yes.
Chair, then I understand. I just want to make, and I think this satisfies the discussion, at least from our side, as to a carefully worded clause that meets the purpose of the limitation. And I think good work has gone into this. I just want to make one proposal, one very slight one, and that is after elected, we say or appointed. So elected or appointed decision-making position of a political party, nationally or in any province, region, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, an elected position, but sometimes decision-making positions are co-opted so that it's appointed. Just that slight amendment, but otherwise, I think this is perfect.
Any other colleagues who wants to have a bite? So I take it we are in agreement with the definition as proposed. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Yeah, I'm happy with it, Chair. It's Hussein. Sorry, I jumped in there.
Oh,
Hussein, you are proposing. Seconder?
In Constitution is seconded.
Inkosi Luthuli is seconding. So based
Yes,
based on the work that was done, we are satisfied that the limitation is indeed reasonable and justifiable as per Section 36 of the Constitution in terms of the limitation of the political right. Can we then move to the next clause?
Thank you, Chair. Clause 2 related to the amendment of actually the insertion of section 54A. And there, Chair, as we have incorporated also the amendments that were proposed by the stakeholders to which the department.
Did I hear
Yes,
someone
Chair?
calling the chair? Okay, my apologies. Proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. So we incorporated the stakeholder proposals also to which the department and with regard
you are breaking up. Something it's wrong with your line. And I think there's someone who's calling the attention of the chairperson. I'm not sure who it is. Is there anyone who, yes.
It's Mpumza who was calling you, Chair.
Honorable Mpumza just arrived now. And he's drawing the attention of the chair. Honorable Gigi Mpumza, what seemed to be the matter? Honorable Mpumza, your line is terrible. I'm struggling to hear you. Am I the only one, colleagues?
I think he's too close to the mic.
You can't hear him.
Honorable Mpumza, can you please try and find the better spot for you to be properly heard? As things stand, we are struggling to hear you. Can I allow the state law advisor to proceed? Until such time that you are audible enough, then you can come in. Alternatively, you can communicate with us on the official portfolio committee group. Proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson,
Hello, Chair.
Yes. Honorable Pumza, I thought you had the summary and the way forward.
Hello.
We are struggling to hear you.
Hello.
We are requesting you to find a better spot or alternatively communicate with us via the official portfolio committee group, but we can't hear you and it is affecting the presentation and the presenter. Andile, can you try and text or call him in the meantime so that we are not delaying the meeting unnecessarily?
I have spoken to him already, Chair.
Thank you, Andile. Apologies, colleague, for the technical glitches. Can you try and mute? Can you try and mute?
I lost you standing on when we
Honorable Pumza. Can we try and mute him and then we proceed?
Chair, his mic is already muted, but somehow he's coming through. I don't know how it's happening.
Can we text or call him? I know at some point he's not responding to. Proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Jay. As I was saying, we are starting with section 54A2. If we remember correctly, the Western Cape had a proposal in respect of that. They indicated that section 54A1 refers to the acting municipal manager, yet in section 54A2, the words acting municipal manager are not expressly included. This creates confusion when interpreting this provision, as it may be construed that only municipal managers and not acting municipal managers are regarded to have the required skills, expertise, and competencies. So what we proposed there, and the department also agreed with that, was just to insert a reference in section 54A2 to include the acting municipal manager also. So we are then on page 3, and if I can refer the members to line 27, after the word municipal manager, we are only proposing the inclusion of the words or acting municipal manager. So that will then read, a person appointed as municipal manager or acting municipal manager in terms of subsection 1 must at least have the skills, expertise, competencies, and qualifications as prescribed. And Chairperson, as the department indicated yesterday, those skills and competencies will be prescribed by the minister by regulation. So we don't have to expand on all of those competencies in here. That will be dealt with separately in the regulations. So that is the first proposed amendment to section 54A.
Is that still on page 3?
That's still on page 3, Chair. May I proceed, Chair?
Can I get any takers approval and secondment from members on the new amendment?
Chair, I will support that as it stands.
There's a proposal from Honorable Brink. Any seconders?
Chairperson, I will second the proposal.
Thank you, colleagues. Honorable Khroneval supported. Proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. We are
Chair.
still in clause 2.
Chairperson,
Yes.
I don't know, maybe it's English. If this thing was written in Xhosa, maybe I would understand. Maybe it's English from my side. Can you advise me on the at least part? Whether it should say are required.
Can you read the section where you need clarity so that you assist
Okay.
the
Yeah,
advisor?
section 2, fifth, yeah. Section 2, where it says a person appointed as a municipal manager in terms of subsection 1 must at least have the skills, expertise, competencies, and qualifications as prescribed. At least, must at least, are required.
I think the at least part refer to minimum requirement, but we can get clarity from the advisor.
Can we say the minimum requirement is skills according in the
But can you ask to your honor to clarify?
Yes, she can. Yeah.
Chairperson, yes, just to clarify the member, the words must at least have means that you will see we still refer to the skills, expertise, competencies, and qualifications as prescribed. So that merely means that the minister will prescribe those minimum skills that they require. Those minimum skills, competencies, expertise, that will be in the regulations. But if a member has more than those skills, it's also still in order. But at least that specific person must have the minimum skills that the minister will prescribe in the regulations. So it's just a matter of words. Even if we change it to are required to have, it will still have exactly the same meaning as it is stated here, because those minimum skills or requirements will all be listed in the regulations. And then when a person applies for such a position, they will look at that list, which will have the minimum skills. And if they don't have at least what is stated in that list, they won't qualify to apply for this position. So they can have more than that, but at least the ones that are listed in the regulations. I'm not sure if I've clarified the member on that.
It makes sense to me. Honorable Cesar, are you covered in terms of the explanation? Okay, silence means consent. Proceed, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. I'm moving to page 4 of the bill now. Chairperson, this was also one of the issues that the chairperson had raised last night. It was the issue of section 56A7, whereby the chairperson indicated that there's no provision in subsection 9 for the minister. There's no period given for the minister to respond or to take appropriate steps if the MEC hasn't considered the appointment process and outcome documents that was sent to the MEC.
Is that Honorable Mpumza? Honorable Mpumza, is that you? Honorable Gigi. Honorable Mpumza.
No, it's clear, Chair.
Can we seem to be struggling to connect with Honorable Mpumza. I'm not too sure whether there's an urgent matter that he wants to bring to our attention.
So let me call him, ne? Chairperson.
Yes.
Let me call him.
No, I'm struggling to
to get hold of him. I'll report back. Proceed.
Okay, so should we proceed in the meantime?
Proceed.
Okay, because I think it's for the fourth time now.
Yeah.
He's trying to.
Nine cents. I've been back for quite some time. And 9 cents, honestly.
Can we mute him and try to get hold of him on the side, please? Yeah, it's a pity I can't phone him because I'm using the very same phone to connect to the meeting.
I'm calling him, Chairperson. I'm calling him.
All right.
Sure.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. As I was saying, I was on page 4 now, and we're looking on top in the first line.
While you edit, can you also move your presentation on the screen so that we are on the same page as what you are reading?
Can you see now, Jay?
It has been stuck on clause 5 for quite some time now.
Clause 5. Let me see if I can make it. Sorry, I'm just refreshing. There we go, Jay. Are we now seeing clause 2 and then?
We're seeing Western Cape now. We're seeing Western Cape proposals.
Oh, it's very slow then. Jay, am I correct that there's nothing on your screen at the moment?
Only your face, yes.
I'm going to try and just bring up the amendment again. There we are.
There we go. Proceed.
Okay, so there we are. So are we seeing clause 2 now, Jay?
On my screen, I see clause 3. It says on page 3 in line 27, after the manager, to insert or acting manager. That's what I'm seeing on my screen.
Okay.
And then the next line, it's number 2 on page 4 in line 2, after government, to insert the minister. Is that the correct page?
No, that is incorrect, Jay. Sorry. Just back. Seem to be. Okay.
But members do have the bill at their disposal. As if there are challenges with you screening, I would propose that you continue. We'll refer to the document from our gadget. Is that correct? Is that in order, members?
That's in order, Chair.
Proceed.
Okay, Chair, for now, I've included the page that says on page 4 after line 15 that the following new subsection.
You will have to then assist us and refer us to the page and the paragraph so that we're all in the same page.
Okay, as long as chairperson and the members are looking at the correct document now, because as I said, I didn't print mine, so I'm working electronically now. I am on page 4 of the bill, and it still forms part of clause 2, which dealt with section 54A. And if the members remember, last night chairperson raised the problem with subsection 7, which is right on top of page 4, where there is an amount, there's a period of 14 days for the MEC or for the municipal council to provide the MEC with the appointment process and the outcome. But then the chairperson indicated that there is no period provided for the minister in subsection 9, within which the minister has to respond. So the proposal was put to the department to perhaps include in that subsection 7 that the municipal council must also inform the minister of the appointment process and the outcome, and not only the MEC. So the department considered this and decided that they will propose an insertion of a new subsection 10, which will read as follows. And this is now the one that that's supposed to be on the screen now. So I will read it to the members. That will replace the current subsection 10, because the current subsection 10 will just move down. So the members, this subsection 10 that we are proposing now will be inserted just below line 15. And it will read as it is on the screen now. It will say, if the MEC for local government fails to respond to the appointment process and outcome within the timeframes as contemplated in subsection 7b, or the minister fails to respond as contemplated in subsection 9, the appointment of senior manager will be deemed to be compliant, provided that the municipality submitted all relevant documents as prescribed. So this will then mean that we are not accepting the proposal of inserting, as the chairperson proposed last night, that the municipal council must also inform the minister, but we are including this subsection to indicate if the MEC doesn't respond within those timeframes that's mentioned in subsection 7, or the minister doesn't take appropriate steps as indicated in subsection 9, then that particular appointment will be deemed to be, the senior manager will be deemed to be compliant. So this comes from the department chairperson. If anyone from the department wants to perhaps clarify this, or if there's any questions, but yes, this was the proposed amendment in relation to last night's proposal from the chairperson.
Colleagues, can I get a take from the colleagues? Colleagues?
Chair?
Yes.
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Mkhalipi.
I don't think there is any problem because we spoke about it yesterday. And if you remember very well, Salka was the one who was also spoke about this specifically. And as the members, we alluded to the very same argument as well, because it's frustrating everyone when the MEC does not attend to the duties. And then after a certain time, she comes back and then she wants the municipality to reverse the decision. I don't think there's a problem with me.
Yes, Chair. Brink, yeah, I agree. I think it's good that that it gives a bit of certainty, but also the proviso, provided the municipality submitted all the relevant documents as prescribed. So it also doesn't open the gates for a completely rigged appointment process to be validated. The basics still need to be complied with, so we are happy.
Okay. Perhaps I am the only one who is slightly unclear as to at what point will the minister become aware of the fact that the MEC failed to comply. If you can just clarify me on that aspect, because I am concerned. The intention here was to ensure that we do not prolong the inevitable unnecessarily, hence the 14 days. But I'm not too sure at what point will the minister become aware. Remember, we have more than 200 municipalities in the country. If I can just get a clarity on that aspect.
Check if I can maybe assist. If you look at the bill, clause 7A says the municipal council must within 14 days inform the MEC of the appointment. Then 7B says the MEC for local government must within 14 days of receipt of the information from the municipal council submit a copy thereof to the minister. So the municipal council has got 14 days to tell the MEC, and when the MEC knows, he or she has 14 days to tell the minister in terms of clause 7B, as I understand it. Maybe that answers your question.
You're correct. No, I'm covered then. So we're fine with the amendment as indicated, colleagues?
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes. Okay, let's proceed.
We are fine.
Thank you,
Those
Chair.
NHCs will do their work.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The rest of the amendments that I'm indicating there, as I said, these are just consequential amendments whereby we are changing the numbering because we've inserted a new subsection there. Yes. So it's not substantial. Then, Chair, we are moving to clause 3. It's also a small amendment. We are still on page 4. And this also relates to one of those previous proposals that were made by the stakeholders. And it was also the Western Cape. They indicated that Section 56(1)B requires a manager directly accountable to the municipal manager to have the skills, expertise, competencies, and qualifications as prescribed. However, it does not require that acting municipal manager directly accountable to the acting manager directly accountable to the municipal manager to have the required skills, expertise, and qualifications as prescribed. However, in Section 56(2), it regards decision by the council to appoint an acting manager directly accountable to the municipal manager who does not have those listed requirements as null and void unless a waiver from the minister is obtained. So in the same way that we've amended in clause 2, section 54A, we are just proposing that section 56(1)B be amended in the same manner so that it also refers now to the acting manager directly accountable to the municipal manager to also have the same skills that the manager directly accountable to the municipal manager must have. So the actual amendment is affected on page 4 in line 36. And in the bill, it is section 56(1)B. It currently reads, a person appointed in terms of paragraph A1 must at least have the skills, expertise, competencies, and qualifications as prescribed. So we are just inserting after paragraph A1, we are just also inserting or 2, so that if we look at subsection 1 there on top, subsection 1, paragraph A, we are now also including the acting manager directly accountable to the municipal manager, which is dealt with in that Roman figure 2. I'm not sure if I'm clear, but it's just almost the same type of amendment that we've affected with regard to section 54A. So that we can also cover the acting manager directly accountable to the municipal manager to have the same skills as the manager directly accountable to the municipal manager.
Loud and clear. Colleagues, are we in agreement?
Chair, we support.
Okay. Honorable Mutabi, you will indicate when you are back so that you take over the reins. I don't want to.
No, you must finish. I'll do the next round of this.
Okay.
You must finish what you have started.
No problem, Honorable Chair.
And I should think now you can see I've resolved your problem.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chair. Proceed, ma'am. We're in agreement. Seconder and.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Okay, Chairperson. The next clause that we are dealing with, it used to be clause 5. That was where section 56A was contained, the one that related to the limitation of political rights. That was on page 5 of the bill. So this was part of our discussions also last night, whereby the department indicated that a provision would be inserted there to provide for a grace period. And we would also include the proposal by SALGA that this limitation be extended to all the employees of the municipality and not only to municipal managers or those directly accountable to municipal managers. So when we considered this amendment, the department indicated that this issue will then have to be inserted in the actual Principal Act under the part that deals with staff members. So this is in fact going to be a new amendment that we are inserting in the bill. So we are omitting the existing clause 5, which used to deal with section 56A, because we have to put this specific amendment in another part of the Principal Act so that it addresses and falls under the part that deals specifically with staff matters. And that is why we are just for now indicating in this clause that we are omitting it, because we are no longer inserting it as 56A. Chair, I'm not sure if you want me to directly go to where we've inserted it, or should I proceed once we get there, because it's more towards the end of this proposed A list.
Proceed. So 56A will remain as it is. The amendments and the proposal raised last night will be covered under staff members.
Yes, we are going to insert a new section 71B in the Principal Act, and that specific section will still contain the limitation, but it will contain the extended limitation as proposed by SALGA, and it will also contain that transitional provision whereby we are allowing a grace period for the existing staff members who might be holding political office, so that they have a period within which they can decide whether they want to resign or what they want to do. So that will
Chair,
be dealt with towards the end.
Yes, Honorable Frank.
So, Chair, just to clarify, because just to make sure everybody's on the same page, this clause 5 goes away. The old section 56A goes away, and I think it makes complete sense. It's omitted because it's replaced at the very end. And Chair, we can decide if we want to go directly there, but it's replaced by the SALGA proposal, which in essence will be the new section 71B that says a staff member may not hold. So it's the SALGA extension. It makes complete sense if read with the new clause.
Is that the understanding that 56A we remove 56A?
That's correct, Chair, because remember that section 56A was inserted by the Amendment Act of 2011, which actually now is invalid. So it's as if it never existed. So for all practical purpose, there is no section 56A now at this stage in the Principal Act. Because we are...
Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The next clause that...
So can I just get an... First, can I get a understanding from members if we're all on the same page by Seconda and the so Honorable Brink, are you proposing that?
Chair,
yes.
It might be very useful for us, in order to understand what's happening here, to deal with clause 5 and the new clause together, because those two things speak to the same objective. I'm happy to support clause 5, but I think maybe to understand it properly, we must consider it together with the new clause, Chair. But it's I'm happy to defer to your judgment.
All right. Can we then quickly go to that section so that before we support and second the removal of 56A, we understand whether or not all the recommendation has been captured in that subsequent clause? Can you take us through that subsequent clause?
Thank you, Chair. I've indicated now on my screen that there will be a new clause, and remember that the numbering in the bill will now be amended because we are removing clause 5, obviously numbering of the clauses. So after the renumbering, the new clause will be inserted after clause 9, and it will be it will be actually after clause 10, but it will become clause 10, and it will be the insertion of section 71B in the Principal Act. As I indicate, the Principal Act has a specific part that deals with staff matters, which is contained in sections 66 to 71A. So we are just insert end of that part which deals with the staff matters, because we thought that it would be appropriate to insert it there, since section 71 deals with the participation of staff members in elections. So we could just move this one below that specific section, and then it will be renumbered as section 71B. Now, to go to the actual wording, we have proposed the heading as staff members prohibited from holding political office. So that would give an idea of what the contents is already. And then it would read, subsection 1, a staff member may not hold political office in a political party, whether in a permanent, temporary, or acting capacity. And then subsection 2 would read, a person who has been appointed as a staff member before subsection 1 takes effect must come 1 year of the commencement of subsection 1. Correctly, last night we had discussed the transitional provision, and a proposal was made, I think, for 6 months, but we included. The committee can decide on whether 1 year would be regarded as enough, but we made it 1 year grace period, so that once this subsection commences, then anybody who's been in that position of staff member who might have been holding political office at that stage will then still have 1 year to decide whether they want to resign from political office or resign from being a staff member. But yes, this is the proposed new amendment as agreed to by the department also.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Honorable Hussein.
When we say a staff member, we mean a municipal employee, right?
Yes.
Yes, Chair. Actually, in the beginning, when we proposed an amendment to this, I think also Salga referred to it as an employee, but we tried to be consistent with the terms that's used in the Principal Act. And the Principal Act continuously, and if we look at staff, let me just get the definition for staff in the Principal Act states that staff in relation to a municipality means the employees of the municipality, including the municipal manager.
No, I'm satisfied. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My question also is that it refers to a staff member, meaning a person who has already been employed within the municipality. Now, if there's a vacancy and post advertised, if Bheki Hadebe holds a political office, and in my CV it's indicated as such, Bheki, who has not been appointed as an employee, won't be prejudiced and not be shortlisted for interview. Only when Bheki becomes an employee, he will be required to vacate such a position, so that Bheki is not disadvantaged for his role in a political office before he gets employed. Is that the understanding? So that we're not faced with a situation where when CVs are submitted, by virtue of me holding a political office, I'm excluded as if I'm already an employee.
Yes, Chair, that's my understanding of the definition of staff member, because it relates to someone who has already been appointed in that position. So that is why we are also allowing for the grace period. So someone who is already appointed as a staff member must make a decision now after this subsection takes effect, whether they still want to remain a staff member because they've already been appointed, or whether they want to resign from being political office. But it wouldn't affect those who apply for the position because they've not really been appointed yet.
All right. No, as long as
Chair, I think it's, you know, at the start of the contractual relationship. So you go for the interview, you get shortlisted, you get ranked, and then you get made an offer. And all this means, as I understand it, is that when the municipal manager or whoever signs that contract, he must make sure that you comply with this condition.
Thank you. Can I get a support and a seconder?
Chair, I will support.
Any seconder?
Chair, I will second that. I'll second that. Opperman.
Thank you, Honorable Kizel Opperman. Then we move back to where we left off after section 56A.
Okay. Okay, Chair, the next clause was clause 6. I just want to find the page on my bill, just a moment. Okay. Sorry, Chair, this